It's insane to imagine that there are doubts over LeBron James and the Lakers only 2 years after they won the NBA championship. Then again, you can't blame the fans for being worried about the state of the Lakers are in after the kind of season they've had. However, Jeanie Buss, the Lakers owner, remains optimistic about LeBron and the Lakers. Let's see what that means. First up, Jeanie Buss. Lakers can win another title with LeBron and AD. That should put an end to some of the raging debates taking place all over social media about the future of LeBron and the Lakers. Jeanie Buss, the president of the LA Lakers, has reaffirmed her desire to keep LeBron James and Anthony Davis at the Lakers, despite their disastrous season. Buss believes that the core of the duo is good enough for the Lakers to win another championship. They are horrific throughout the season, and injuries along with combination issues didn't help their case. Russell Westbrook's signing caused more issues than solving them, and what was looking like a dream duo based on their wealth of experience turned out to be a nightmare for the Lakers. As expected, there were many questions in the offseason about who the Lakers will be looking to trade. The core of the group is undeniably old, with LeBron hitting 37, Westbrook 33, and AD turning 30 soon. Although it's not like there's a huge market for their players either. No one would be willing to buy Westbrook with the kind of money he's earning, and the likes of LeBron and AD might be too big an asset to sell. Next, Buss wants to keep Bron happy. Following the end of their underwhelming, yes, that is an understatement, season, there were rumors emerging that LeBron might be on his way out. It's one of the worst kept secrets in the world that LeBron influenced the Westbrook deal massively, and following the failure of the deal, he ended up getting a lot of flack. However, Buss has moved to quickly put an end to such rumors. Jeanie Buss explained how she wants to keep the GOAT happy and how important it is for her to keep LeBron and the Lakers for a very long time. She was quick to point out that there was nothing wrong in involving star players with big decisions. The president of the Lakers believes that LeBron has it in him to win them another championship, and the management will ensure that he feels confident in the team. If anything, this feels like LeBron's influence behind the scenes has only increased after the Westbrook blunder. The management realizes that they can't possibly overhaul the entire roster in the same year, and they've got a better chance of competing if they persist with the current players that they have. In particular, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. LeBron wasn't exactly past his best, as many analysts would have, you think, and if AD can stay injury-free, you know what happens? Maybe Jeanie's confidence in LeBron is paid back and he wins them another championship. What about Russell Westbrook? The omission of Russell Westbrook from the conversation has raised a few eyebrows, though. Talking to Bill Plaschke of the Los Angeles Times, Jeanie Buss said that a conversation regarding Westbrook and how he fits into the side is premature. If anything, these comments indicate that the management at the Lakers hasn't yet decided what to do with Westbrook. That's understandable, considering that their priority at the moment remains getting a new coach, and his decision will be crucial in what happens to Westbrook. Buss elaborated that the right coach needs to be brought in, and then we have to see how players fit his playing style, and given the kind of roster the Lakers have, this remains an important decision. Rob Pelinka, another senior figure in the Lakers hierarchy, refused to rule out a move for Westbrook. From what we've gathered, the Lakers wouldn't mind the option of trying things with Westbrook next season, but if they were to get a good trade involving Westbrook, they'll be more than tempted to let him go. While Pelinka lauded Westbrook for battling every game, he added that the Lakers will look under every stone to get better for next season. And now, Adrian Griffin, the next Lakers coach? If rumors are to be believed, Andrew Griffin's set to take charge of the Lakers after being reportedly interviewed for their head coach position. Following the comments of Jeanie Buss and Rob Pelinka, Griffin seems to be the ideal hire given his resume and his ability to make a disjointed trio like LeBron, AD, and Westbrook work. Stylistically, Griffin's a defensive coach, and his strengths remain in coordinating the perfect defense. He's also a modern-day players coach and likes to connect with his team on an individual level. When you have to deal with superstars as the Lakers have, you need someone who can personally form more than just an official relationship with them. Griffin has worked with all sorts of players, like Jimmy Butler to fringe rookies. It makes a lot of sense for the Lakers to go with Griffin because he could work with their problematic trio, as well as be the perfect name for a possible rebuild in the next couple of years. If he comes in, there's a good chance that Westbrook ends up staying at the franchise for another season at the minimum, and Griffin will add a couple of other defensive names to boost the chances of the Lakers in the upcoming season. Enough about the Lakers. Time to take a look at some other news from the NBA. DeAndre Ayton on his way out? While 4 teams are knee-deep into the playoffs, the rest of the franchises are weighing up their options ahead of the summer. The Phoenix Suns exited the playoffs after a spirited display by the fantastic Mavs star Doncic, and it seems like a huge offseason is pending for the Suns. DeAndre Ayton is rumored to be on the verge of exiting the Phoenix franchise, and while he's always been unsettled and linked with a trade move anyway, this year could really be it. Ayton played only 17 minutes in the postseason finale, while every other player played at least 27 minutes. Monty Williams explained the decision to bench Ayton as internal, and it feels like tensions have reached a boiling point. According to the ever-relatable Adrian Wojnarowski, Ayton doesn't feel valued by his franchise, and as a restricted free agent this summer, the ugly exit in Game 7 might have been the last game that Ayton played for the Suns. Woj believes that the likes of San Antonio Spurs, Oklahoma City Thunder, and Portland Trail Blazers will all be following developments in Ayton's camp. To boot, many more teams in the league would be interested in signing the Suns center. Sixers want more star power. The Sixers were another side that experienced a terrible end to their postseason campaign. Expectations from the duo of Embiid and Harden weren't met, and it seems like a third star player could be added to the ranks, boosting their chances of going again next year. Windhorst reported that the president of the Sixers, Daryl Morey's, got big giant plans to acquire a third star. It was obvious that the Sixers lacked a reliable second option, and as Embiid mentioned after their loss, this isn't Houston Harden anymore. That doesn't mean Harden can't play an important role for the Sixers, as he could be a fantastic third option if the Sixers can bring in another star to partner those two, although it might mean that Harden has to take a pay cut ahead of a possible transfer, and that might be the cost he has to pay for a shot at the elusive NBA championship. There hasn't been much speculation about who the Sixers would be targeting for their big giant plans, but chances are that Tobias Harris could be the one traded. Maxey could have been included in the deal, but Murray's a big fan of the 21-year-old and would want to keep him. Was Doncic ill before Game 1 v. the Warriors? The Mavericks lost Game 1 of their series against the Warriors, and their star player Doncic came up with a rather underwhelming performance. We have to say it was underwhelming by his standards, rather than by anyone else's, because 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists would mean a pretty decent night for most players. Either way, it wasn't exactly a great performance from the Slovenian, and rumors have emerged that he was up all night before the game because he was battling an illness. The play-by-play announcer, Kevin Harlan, revealed the news and said that he'd heard it from 2 different people that the Mavs star was dealing with an illness going into Game 1. Reggie Bullock of the Mavs was also sick as a dog, and Jason Kidd explained it. A couple weeks ago against the Utah Jazz, it could be the case of a viral bug going around the Mavs camp affecting players. They'd be hoping that Doncic is feeling better ahead of Game 2 as the Mavs look to level the series. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think that the Lakers can win another championship with LeBron and AD? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.